Item 18, again, the procurement strategy on pages 141 to 156.
I'd like to move it, Chair.
I'll probably second that, Chair.
It arises partly because of the changes in the European and national legislation, but also it's to strengthen and improve our existing strategy. And I hope that it will make a small but significant difference in the working conditions of Harlow residents. We hope to influence suppliers, and they will introduce measures in this way which will increase fairness and equality. That's
encourage local businesses to apply for contracts with the local authority. I think that's a really good step. I have one other comment, and that's on page 149. Stage 3, market engagement. That first sentence doesn't read very well. I think there are 2 words missing. I think it should say the Council is committed to promoting a strong local economy by providing high quality information and advice to assist local businesses, and the Council engages with the market in a variety of ways.
Ways of trying to extend contracts to local businesses. But I do have a question on page 151 where we're talking about blacklisting and other discriminatory practices. Second paragraph, if it comes to light that a breach has occurred, I'm just wondering what degree of evidence you would actually take as a breach, as to how strong that evidence would be in the case of challenge by the tenant.
I specifically talked about evidence there, not assumption and what have you, and the same definition that the Commissioner's Office used when it prosecuted a number of organisations in this regard. So I would expect it to be relevant, robust, i.e. the definition of evidence, not assumption.
Where it says the Council will refuse to the extent the law allows the appointment of contractors who make use of 0-hour contracts. Firstly, is that likely to mean that prices in our procurement are going to go up because of this decision? And secondly, whilst I'm no fan of 0-hour contracts, they are legal. Your own party leader hasn't said that he will abolish them. And indeed, a report in the Mirror last year said 62 Labour MPs were employing staff on 0-hour contracts. What's so wrong that Harlow Council can't?
Mirror Reading, if you want.
never mind the Daily Mirror. I think
I've often said the
policy of the Labour Party generally, I think, is actually to refuse 0 hours contract. Now, it may ultimately mean an increase in costs, but that is well worth it in the light of the outcome, because we don't use 0-hour contracts, and I'm proud that we don't. It's very important. So why should we encourage our future partners to sort of return to the 30s and the insecurity of queuing up and waiting for the tap on the shoulder when we can provide some measure of security for future workforce?
Mr. Chairman, can I just confirm that the
in re-awarding the cleaning contract, and that's factored into our budget.
Yes.
So yes, there are sometimes financial consequences of making decisions on values and priorities and principles. No further comments or questions.